something that never made sense to me. Something that never made sense to me was that it's diamond. It's Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and then Platinum. Diamond is a gemstone. Pearl is a gemstone. Platinum is a metal.
Oh, I'm not smart enough to know that.
Where is the?
All I know is I'm a platinum gay, and that's all I know. Hi, welcome to Deeper Conversations. I'm your host, Matthew Silvers. I'm here today with Shawn, and we're here to just talk about queer shit because
queer shit needs to be talked about.
I'm fucking done. I'm fucking frustrated. Today specifically, I'm drained. I'm done. I'm fucking.
You've gone through a lot.
I mean,
I went to a dentist this morning, so that's the extent of my my agitation.
Slowly being dragged on TikTok again for some shit that I was trying to do, and it just again got twisted. But it's okay because I know where I stand, and we're gonna talk about the reason I think that all of this shit is happening, and the reason that when this shit comes up, it doesn't go anywhere. But I'm here with Shawn. Did I hit you up? Did I comment? I commented on
So here's the thing. So I made a video.
Okay.
So just a quick little explanation of what happened. So I ran across a video on my timeline or on my For You page that was like, if you're one of those people who attacks people for their body image, you can choke. Full disrespect. And I was like, yes, I agree. So I went to his comments fully ready to see people telling him to shut the fuck up. Or let me phrase, I knew it was going to be one of the two. It was either going to be people telling him to shut the fuck up or people like, yes, you're so right. And here's why. Because I thought he was pretty attractive. He's not ugly. I didn't think he was an ugly person. Which, here's the thing. Nobody is ugly. Everybody is beautiful to somebody. Not everybody is beautiful to me.
That's what I say. Shut up. Listen, okay, because I even go as far as to say people on Grindr, when people will like send their photos, whether that like be, nudes or not, if somebody says that, I will tell them that they are cute in their own right.
Just not my type.
And how I don't say like, hey, like sometimes I'm honest and I'm like, hey, I'm not your type, but I like to say, like, I like to add the add-on, like, hey, you're cute, but you're just not my type, because that insinuates like you're still hot and like I'm not blocking you off, like, and that like opens the conversation to being like, hey, like because obviously Grindr is really just for sex.
We could be friends, but we're not gonna have sex.
Absolutely. People, oh my God, wait, this is gonna be fun. But that's exactly what I say. I'm shocked that you said that. Oh my God.
That's something I had to teach myself to start doing because I acted from a place of bitterness for a really long time.
Agreed.
Not proud of it, but unfortunately
I had to do that same thing.
But hurt people. So that's something else we can get into. But anyway, so back to the video. So I listened to his video and he was saying the same things that I was already saying and that a lot of other fat people are already saying. And I was like, so he's just gonna he banged like 50K for saying the same thing I'm saying. And people are in his comments saying, you're so right. We need to do better. We need to change. We need to grow. Yes. You're right. We should talk about these things. But yeah, I've seen plus size people. There's a transgender woman I follow on TikTok. I think her name is Naomi Hartz. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's pretty popular.
Okay.
She's really big for having a frog booty. She calls it her little frog booty. She's so funny. She's like body positivity, love it.
Yeah.
And she'll talk about that, and like I'll see her comments are full of disgusting and hate.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, you guys will attack and weaponize and villainize any and everything to attack people who are talking about these issues, who they affect. But yet when a conventionally attractive, chiseled jawline, Adonis looking motherfucker stands up and says the same thing I already did, he bangs 50K and I get told to shut up because I'm a fat
that's funny because I just saw another video of his today. I was like looking back to see who the original person was, and I agree. And we talked about this off camera, but like it's like there's this other thing about mutual exclusivity. Like you can think somebody is hot, but you can also recognize and realize you do not want to be anywhere near this person because they're ugly as fuck. And if they're ugly as fuck on the inside, no offense, they're ugly as fuck on the outside. Like it makes their aura ugly. And like, but like, this is not really that case, I guess. Cause like this guy's attractive. This guy is like, he's cute. Like, I think he's cute. And I think like, whatever. And I'm not going to bring him down for it. Cause he did, the intent is still there. Like he was trying
to do the good thing.
He's trying to do a good thing. And I also think like, so you said earlier, like we were talking about a lot of stuff, but we said earlier the thing about like like a casting call where it like asks for plus size, models, that's half of the direction. And the other half is that plus size people have to want to be the change and go out and audition and do that thing.
And there are plenty of them. However,
yeah,
there's not enough of them that we're not seeing it on the scale that it should be.
Agreed.
I also have no interest in modeling, so I'm never going to try to go out and audition for those modeling gigs.
Right.
But that's because it's not my interest. Doesn't mean that there's not another fat person who
Oh my God,
isn't interested in that.
1,000%. Also,
and I love saying the word fat because fat has become so negatively connotated that it's viewed as this like bad word.
I use them both. That's
I'm
like
fat.
one of those things
I'm okay. I'm fat. I'm fat. It's okay.
Well,
to say
because
fat.
I was 210 pounds, and I'm like, it's so. Oh my God.
That's like my left leg.
By the way, to anybody listening, like this will go in a million different directions. So
for sure.
Just bear with us. I was just talking about this today, and it's something that has been brought up, and it really like it affects my mental health because it's something that I still, I guess, haven't worked through, and that it kills me whenever I make a video, any video, and I don't like putting myself in a box. You'll never see me like really saying anything. Like I am basically like pretty much everything's a spectrum, and like I'm usually in the middle or like on both sides of every spectrum, and people love boxes. And so like, especially in the queer community, they love putting people in boxes.
I think that's why we need to stop saying LGBTQIA plus community. We need to start saying queer community, because then when we say all these letters, it puts us in boxes.
Yeah.
I saw a video talking about that today on TikTok, and I was like, oh, that's a really good point. We should just start. Because it's also, everything's a spectrum now. We understand that everything is a spectrum. It always has been. And we created these.
And I think our community in general is about loving each other. And so like, that's what the basis should be, is being allowed to love who you love, and in any direction, including like all the like letters. So I like, yeah, I love that. But so
like, I'm not particularly somebody who's like pansexual or anything like that, but somebody else may be. Yeah. And here's the thing, it's fine to have your boxes for you.
Yes.
If you want to put yourself in a box, if
but
you're
labeling someone else.
But don't expect everybody else to conform to those boxes. The same way, like traditional gender norms of male and female, if you want to use those in your marriage, use them, but don't say they have to exist for everyone else. Like, I fully understand. I am a feminine energy. I am a moon energy. I will be the mom. I will be the wife. I get it. I'm fine with that. And the guys I'm attracted to typically aren't that energy. They are typically sun energies, masculine. I mean, but I also am not so caught up in this idea that this has to be the perfect guy, that if I come across a feminine person and I fall in love with him, I fall in love with him. I'm not gonna.
Oh, that was the other video that I wanted to talk about that I saw from you. So I'm constantly like being told like, oh my God, you're a twink. And then the next video to be like, you're a cub. And then the next video to be like, you're an otter. And I'm like, I don't need you choosing what I am. Let me fucking be who I am. I am not a twink. I am not a cub. I am not an otter. And as stupid as some people may think it is, my name is Matthew Silvers. That's who the fuck I am. I do the shit that I do. I stay, I'm trying to make the world a better place. And that is who I fucking am.
I'm sorry, but I am a twink hate account.
But see, like that, it makes it as crazy.
Not twinks themselves, twink culture, I should say.
Yeah, but like, it's just crazy to hear that as well, is because I'm trying to stop people and I can't, but I'm trying to, like, that makes so much divide.
I get it. And I know it's not the best thing. It's just,
every time
I hate twink ideologies and twink cultures that like, I'm better than you because I'm a twink. No, fuck off. Like,
but see, I don't think they think they're better than everyone else.
I have met plenty who do.
Well, I agree, but I think it's because of their like something else, like their egos for sure. But they think they're better than everyone else because a twink is somebody who is skinny. They think they're better than everyone else because they're skinny. And then because magazines and TV shows and movies and
are made for them,
praise those people, that is why they think they're better than everyone else. I don't think, obviously they're not better than everyone else. And I think a lot of them, again, it's weird saying them because I may or may not be a twink. I don't fucking know, but I don't give a shit. you know, a lot of them, I think, realize that too. But here's the thing. So I don't like when people call out other people for their boxes, because it just puts more divide, including that community. And that's what I was roasted today on TikTok from. And I took it down almost immediately because people were already hounding me for it. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and try and give somebody a voice, a platform. And he was like, I already have a voice. I already have a platform. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like take away from yours. I was just saying, like, if you'd like to borrow mine, like I want to like give a platform to people of color's voices, to bigger people's voices, to, you know, different cultures, different languages, different, you know, whatever. And like, I was being hounded because all I was trying to do was, because he was saying like he hates white twinks, he wants a war on white twinks, he literally started a petition on white twinks and like moving them to a different place. And it just causes so much divide, whether people see it or not, whether you want to make it a joke or not. You want to make it a joke in 50 years where hopefully we'll be better, absolutely fucking go for it. That's so funny. But while we're in something, I don't think it's hilarious. I don't think it's funny to create divide. Same as the fucking eating disorder jokes. Those jokes don't need to exist. Unless you're like a
I
comedian and you're on stage and you have been through it and you can laugh through it and whatever. Like, and I get dark humor and I think it's hilarious. Dark humor is one of the best. Dry humor is even better. Like, this shit is like, it can be funny in a situation. TikTok is not that situation. TikTok is not your stage. It's not, well, not your comedy stage
well, it has
in
well, it
that
depends.
way.
If you are specifically making that kind of content,
Yes. Then
then
yes.
then it is your stage, but it also becomes, it's the same thing that stand-up comedians will tell people: do not come to one of my shows if you're not ready to hear jokes about me getting raped.
Yeah.
Like, if like, don't come to my, and if you do come to my show and you get upset about it, don't talk to me about it, talk to yourself about it, because I warned everybody. I talk about rape in how I was raped, not how she was raped or he was raped or they were raped. I talked about how
Correct.
I was raped in my show.
Because
Don't
they
come to,
don't, but, and
same
that's
thing
the
I say
thing
like
is
on my
I am
page
okay.
is,
Yeah,
I'm going to
exactly.
talk about shit that pisses me off.
But
So
that's
don't
the
come to my page
difference.
expecting the tolerant left, because I am
But
not the
so
tolerant left.
that's the difference between what is a correct joke and what is not. You need to make it, if you want to make a joke about eating disorders, your joke needs to be about the one that you had and the experience you went through, not a general subject of, hey, like, let's talk eating disorders. Because you're like, that's more triggering than you talking about your personal experience and making a joke out of it. Specifically, hey, let's just talk about the, like, during Pride Month where everyone was like, looks like this is what I'm eating today, and it was like a strawberry on a plate. Like, that shit's not okay, because you're making a joke about eating disorders, which, by the way, are most common among queer men,
Well,
or the
to kind of
queer
try
community
to,
in general.
a lot of the ones I saw that were like that, I think they were also trying to call out the culture and the culture and societal norms we've put on queer people, that they have to look a certain way. And
Yeah,
like, oh, I'm only going to be able to be attractive if I look this way.
yeah.
So to look this way, I have to only
But it's
eat this
mostly
thing.
men. It was mostly
And it
men with
helped, and
abs.
it does help to bring awareness, to be like, oh, that's a problem people are facing. Shit, we should like probably address
Yeah.
that. Like the ones about bottoms eating ice are just funny. Like, that's not even eating disorder. That's just plain funny. Like, come
Yeah.
on. We
Yeah.
all know, like, I mean, I don't do that shit. When I'm gonna bottom,
I don't
I just go to
either.
the bathroom.
I
I'm gonna go
just,
to the bathroom for about an hour
yeah.
or so. Like,
It
because I'm not
just,
gonna, I just had Panda Express. I'm
that
not
sounds
changing my
so
diet for no
good.
man.
I'm gonna get that tonight. That sounds good.
It was good. It
I'm
had a
done.
lot of the
But
fucking cabbage though. I was like, ugh, every time they always give me like a whole cabbage. I'm like, I want chow mein. I want the noodles. I don't want the cabbage.
but like, so but here's my issue with it is that, like, okay, so it's mostly the ones that I've seen were mostly men with abs, where they were taking those pictures during Pride Month. That's cool. Now let me see you fucking do something about it. I can't have you saying words without putting your your actions where your mouth is. I don't want to see you make a fucking joke. If you can't, if I don't, I can't, because I can't sit back and watch this community just like rip each other apart, make jokes about things that like shouldn't be funny, because you know, because we're all satirical Gen Zers now, where it's just like, oh yeah, I could die tomorrow. I don't give a shit. Like, we have to inhabit this fucking planet. Like, we have to inhabit this fucking planet. And it's killing me that we are ripping each other apart, that people are not okay with character development. People are allowed to say shit that on Twitter that was not okay 10 years ago and apologize now for it. If they apologize now for it, you know, as long as they're not a shitty person now, you know, get the fucking, get like that shit's, get over it. Like, and we are allowed to develop as a human being. And here's the other thing that I wrote down. We were about to talk about this, but this is like this is a big topic that I'm going to continue to talk about like every fucking day, every time on this podcast, is change. I just had this conversation while I was in Vegas. People do not accept change. The world is not a good place because people don't accept change. The world would be a lot better place if people accepted change.
There's this really old quote. It's something like, it basically says something like, to change a mountain may take years, so it is easier to change the anthill, or something like that. And it basically means like, it's harder to accept change that'll take a long time.
Yeah.
So it's easier to just put a band-aid over it. Like, it's harder to look through it's harder to look through a mirror than it is through a window. Does that make sense?
Say that last one again. It's harder to
So it's harder to look through a mirror than it is to look through a window. Does that make sense?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Does that make sense? And like, correction takes pain. Like, there's all these quotes that like people can, and like, it's not impossible to change. And like, I certainly have not changed, but I am changing.
Yeah.
I mean, I said that a lot of things in high school that I'm not proud of. Like, I was raised in a very terrible, like I said, I'm from the East Texas, Jasper, Texas area. Jasper, Texas is very popularly known for a whole movie. They made a whole movie with John Voight about the murder of a black man by the KKK. Like, I'm from that area. And then in 2013, 2014, Anderson Cooper did a 360 on us because we killed this man named Alfred Wright, and our sheriff covered it up. Like, yeah, it's so like, and like, I said and did a lot of things I'm not proud of, and like, that I definitely wouldn't say again actively. And like, do I catch myself still thinking microaggressively sometimes? And of course, and I have to stop myself and step back a minute and be like, okay.
But that's the best, is when you know that you're actively like thinking that by like whatever.
Yeah, like, change is not impossible. It just takes a lot of time.
You work through it and you're like that. And it's like, but see, that's the thing is, so like, even down to, this is what I was referring to when I was talking to the other person about it, is that, okay, on Tuesday night, I had a limousine ride to go to the airport to take me in a helicopter in Vegas to like go look over. We get in the limousine, my favorite pair of pants rip. Huge hole, rip, bad. Okay, I don't give a shit. I accept it. I'm in a limousine. That's what I'm thinking about. We get there, we get checked in. It takes an hour to get our names called. Hour and a half. And like, we were supposed to be in and out like basically already. I accept it. I'm on TikTok, on Instagram, just looking through whatever. I accept it. I move on. Then we get in this bus to go 5 feet to get in the helicopter, and we sit in the helicopter for 15 minutes before he turns the helicopter off and says, we can't go in the sky. The wind is too much. I accept it. I'm not mad. I move on. I try and go see a TikToker I love who sings at the New York bar. I walk 30 minutes to the New York bar. Come to find out she's still sick. I accept it. I move on. I got a chocolate martini. I walked back. That is accepting change, immediate change. If something is not, my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes of all time is from Legally Blonde. If the fabric doesn't work for you, don't work with the fabric. It's like, obviously that's not a well-known Legally Blonde quote, like everything else is, but that's,
I remember that quote.
Heck yeah. So if even as simple as something as that, like not being able to see the TikToker sing in the New York bar, that can make me sad and depressed, and I could be upset, and like it could ruin my vacation. No, just fucking accept it. Your your uh,
Move
your
on. Move on,
your
sweetheart.
your world changed just like that. Move on and live, live in the moment and do something else. That's the other thing, is I think because like everybody's living like forward, or some people are even living backwards, like you got to live in the moment. And but so accepting change is the, I think at this point in my life, accepting change is the number one thing that can change the world. It is the number one thing. um
I
it's
mean,
just,
honestly, I think to accept a lot of the change we need, we're gonna have to hit our rock bottom. Like,
and
there's this quote
I
from
think we're slowly get we're about
there's this
there.
quote from The Legend of Korra, because and Aang says to Korra, he says, when we hit our lowest points, we are open to the greatest change. And I'm not positive that if that quote came directly from that show or if it came from some guru
Someone
or
else,
monk
yeah.
or something else, but that's the only place I know the quote from. If I'm wrong, please let me know. It's but I've always loved that quote because it really does take you hitting your lowest point to realize I need to change. Like when I was at the height of my depression, when I was at the height of my suicidal thoughts, the height of hating my body, I bottomed out. I smacked into the ground. I realized nothing's going to change if I just keep on saying I hate these things about myself, or I don't, or if I don't like that I'm depressed. So I needed to start doing things to change that. So I started going to the gym. I've lost, I don't know how much weight, because if I have really bad, I don't want to call it OCD, but I have this thing where I will hyper obsess over numbers. So if I'm looking at like, if I'm looking at my macros, I'm looking at my
It's a
calories,
big
I'm looking at
thing
my
with
weight,
me.
I
Yeah.
become like, oh, I already ate 1,000 calories for this day with this one little almond. I can't eat for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm just like, eat what you want, drink enough water, don't overeat, cut your portions. If you're full, stop eating and go to the gym. Like that's the only thing I can do at this point. Because if I see numbers, I will obsess over the numbers. But like I've lost weight, my pants are all loose now, which is not great because I don't want to have to buy new clothes. Clothes are expensive.
Yeah.
Ugh,
So here's the thing, is
it's
like,
just, mm.
so here's the thing. I would never ask the world to accept change if people can not themselves accept change. And here's the thing, is I think when we talk a lot about self-love, now again, I could be wrong, but I think a lot of the times, like when you see a video on TikTok or whatever about self-love and shit, they never talk about change itself. Self-love is a huge or change is a huge part of self-love. You can't truly love yourself if you cannot accept change, because it's going to happen to you whether you like it or not. And whether that change is good or whether that change is bad. And to be quite frank, life for anyone is going to be a roller coaster, no matter who you are, no matter who you love, no matter what you look like. It is going to be a roller coaster of emotions. So you need to be able to accept that change. From there, if you can accept the change, those are the people, by the way, the people who already accept change are the ones that are trying to change the world. Hence why the world doesn't change that much.
I don't want
Because
to change the world. I want to change people.
so no, and I agree, but even that, like again, it starts with yourself. And if you move on to trying to change other people's minds or
I guess
views
by extension, that would be changing the world anyway. So I guess
or
that really
whatnot,
fit in
right,
there.
right, right, right. Because like as a collective, of doing it and whatnot, and
I mean,
from
the world
there,
itself doesn't need to change. We all decided to kill the earth and just said, huh?
right. And so like it's frustrating because the people who are already trying to change the world, or a collective of people or whatever, are the ones that get the most pushback, that get the most hate, or people trying to stop them, and then they might get unmotivated and the world does not change, and it's this constant circle.
Exactly.
And
So
now we're in a state of place where there is so much change that is stuck like right at the line. Climate change, accepting the queer community, as crazy as it fucking sounds, but here we fucking are in the 21st century, accepting people of color. Um, you know, I would even go as far to say at that line is abortions as well. that shit, gun reform, like the one that I wouldn't put in that gate is gun reform, or doing something with guns in general. The only reason I wouldn't say that is because we got to figure out where we're going to do to push it over that line. But all of these like those ones that I was talking about, specifically like the queer community and the people of color, they're stuck at this line, which, by the way, first of all, they fucking shouldn't be. Same with climate change. And we need to get the world collective to want to push it to the next line. We need more people trying to, we just need more people accepting change for themselves to accept that the world changes. And then once that happens, it'll be pushed over that line.
I mean, it's eventually it's always going to happen. It's an inevitable thing. It's going to happen eventually, whether we want it to or not. And unfortunately, I have this feeling that it's not going to be a smooth transition, a smooth change. I feel like it's going to be this. I feel like it's going to be like one of those movies, like those like dystopian movies, or like the alien invasion movies.
I'm genuinely scared we are going to have like an Alexander the Great situation.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Just because
I mean, Texas did just like this morning pass a bill where we don't have to now teach that the KKK is morally wrong.
In the same place where they have to talk, what is it? They have to talk about MLK's speech or something.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was in the same fucking bill.
It changes so much I can't keep up with it.
Right.
There's so much going on I can't keep up with it anymore because it makes me have anxiety. Like I had an anxiety attack a few months ago over something they did.
Yeah.
Here in Texas. And I was like, I can't think about this because I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I'll give myself an ulcer.
Sense. I'm sorry. And like, as crazy and dumb as I might sound, it just does not compute in my brain. How do I say this? I recognize racism. I combat against it. I recognize my right privilege. I speak upon it. I acknowledge it. I don't comprehend. Maybe racism. I don't know if I'd say I don't comprehend racism because I think I do, obviously. I don't comprehend racists.
That's something I never understood, is that people seem to have this phallocytic idea that race is this term that describes different skin tones. And that, sorry, I just had lunch, so I'm going to be burping throughout this. It's okay. But I'll try to turn away from the mic as much as I can.
It's all right.
But like, it was very much, and this here does prove that racism is a learned thing, because it very much was something I learned once I got older, that people treated people of color differently than they treated me. And I asked my parents one time, I said, Mom, why does my teacher treat my friend Keyshawn differently than she treats me? I was like, and she was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know how to, like, she can't whisper, she gets in trouble, but I can whisper and I don't get in trouble. This kid Casey gets up and walks around class and he doesn't get in trouble, but my friend Keyshawn got up to go sharpen her pencil and she got yelled at. And she was like one of the only 3 Black kids in my school at the time, or in my grade range at the time. So I was like, what is going on? And that's like when my mom was like, well, I mean, it's called racism. You'll learn about it when you get older. And like, that was kind of all I ever heard. Because my parents, I love my parents. My parents did their best, but they weren't the most educated people. Like, my sex talk for my dad was, get a girl pregnant and I'll wrap it up and tie it in a bow and give it to you for Christmas.
Oh my God.
And then when I came out as gay, he was like, same thing. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Do I have a uterus? Is that something I need to be worried about?
I'm dead.
Like, can I get pregnant if I have sex with a man? And like, there was nothing answered. But anyway.
Yeah. But
and like, as I got older, I started to realize that that people of color, like the Black kids around me, the Mexican kids around me, the Asian kids around me, were being treated differently because people thought they were a different race. So like, I got taught race, like different races of animals, dogs, cats, birds, fish, humans were a race of mammal that existed on Earth. And then all of a sudden you're getting told that Black people are a different race. So then you think, oh, they're a different race than me. So then because you're in this community that teaches you it's okay to hate them, you start to be microaggressive and you start to be racist. And then you start to unteach yourself, which is something you have to work on. And it's just, when did this term racism get redefined to mean hatred towards people for their skin tones or color of their skin, which it's the best word we have at this point, I guess, to use, because colorism has its own thing within their own communities.
Wait, is colorist not a? Oh well, yeah, colorism.
Well, I thought so too. So I asked a friend of mine I made in college. Her name is Samaria. I should probably ask her if I can, because I don't want people trying to look her up, because I don't think she wants to be in the public view. So anyway, bleep that out if you can. Bleep that name out. But I asked her once. I said, "Why do we say the term racism or race when we're referring to people of color, and instead of something like colorist or colorism?" And she's like, "Honestly, I don't know, but y'all made it up, so y'all deal with it." And she was right. She's right. Like, it is something that we as white people and our ancestors created, so therefore we need to fix.
Yeah.
And
so
I mean,
so I want to clarify though, like I understand racism exists. I understand I have white privilege. I understand like all the research I've done. Like I'm not, obviously I don't need to explain it, but like, and I was just told that I look at life. I don't like the word rose tinted glasses, but like I live in a quote unquote fantasy world with understanding that
but
these
not
things
experiencing, right?
exist.
As per
No,
that.
not no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Well, no, but I understand. But like that. But that's what I'm saying is by I can't comprehend racist because I cannot. You know when it's like put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I can't, and I've tried. Like not that I would want to, but obviously, like I have tried. I have tried to like put myself in somebody like and like I've been homophobic, you know, when I was in the closet and
See, that's something
whatever.
else. You're not afraid of gay people, and you never were. You're just, I hate the term phobia.
Yes,
When we've started conflating the terms. So that's something I wrote down is phobia is BS. We call it fat phobia. You're not afraid of fat people, Jennifer. Are you afraid I'm going to unhinge my jaw and swallow you whole? You're not afraid of fat people. You have bodyism.
Yeah.
So you have a prejudice towards someone for their body type. Same thing with, I remember looking this term up. I think it's homosexist. Homosexism is when you have a prejudice towards people in same-sex relationships.
So homophobia, but you hate gay people.
Yeah. Instead of being because you're not afraid. Are you afraid that we're gonna break into your house and queer eye for the straight guy your apartment? Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
Like, oh no, we're gonna teach you how to wash your ass. Oh no, we're gonna teach you how to dress properly. Oh no, we're gonna teach you what a brush is and a toothbrush. I met little story time. I know we're about to
but that's my
diverge here.
thing is like how does one become that? Like what'd you say? Homosexist.
Homosexist.
Like
so
that
it's a
shit's
term.
crazy.
It's a term that just means you have prejudice towards homosexual people,
which like people who
or
are
queer
religious
people in general,
people
like
who are religious or
transsexist. Yeah,
homosexist. So
like you're
like
not xenophobic. You're not afraid of somebody because they praise Allah. You're just an asshole. Like you may be Zenist, I guess would be a word. I don't know, Zenism. We need to stop conflating the definition of phobia with prejudice, because a phobia is not a prejudice and a prejudice is not a phobia. A prejudice can be, or a phobia can be born of prejudice.
Yeah.
But that's it. That is the only intersection they share. They do not share any other intersections. Yeah. Like arachnophobia, you're afraid of spiders. You don't hate spiders, you're just scared of them.
Well,
choleraphobia, you're not afraid of clowns, or you don't hate clowns, you're just afraid of clowns.
I mean, you can be though.
But for simplicity.
But for simplicity, it does not work with, yeah.
Like whenever we use the term phobia, we don't mean you hate these things. Like xenophobia, which is the fear of the dark. Aquaphobia or hydrophobia, whatever it's called, which is a fear of water. And also, it doesn't mean you're afraid of your shower, might I add. It means you're afraid of bodies of water.
Yeah.
I had a dumbass try to explain to me what hydrophobia was, and I already knew what it was. And he was like, yeah, that's why I don't shower.
Bruh.
I was like, tell me you're a straight man without telling me you're a straight man.
Stop.
Because statistically speaking, straight men do not bathe regularly.
Okay. That's crazy. I actually used to take showers like every 2 days.
I mean, if you didn't do anything that day, don't run up your water bill if you didn't get sweaty.
No, I take 1 to 2 showers a day now, which
Oh
might be
no,
bad for the
see,
environment.
here's the thing though. I was
I
raised
don't
poor.
know,
So I was taught never run up your water or light bill unless you had to.
which is
So that might be
smart.
where that stems from. So if
Yeah,
I have not left my house, like I left my house today, I got sweaty today, so I'll shower today before I go to bed.
yeah,
But I'm off tomorrow. If I don't leave my house tomorrow, if I don't do anything, if all I do is sit around this house and do nothing and don't get sweaty, I'm not wasting water. I'm not running my water bill up. That is stupid as hell. And also bad for the environment.
I'm sad.
Like, why would you waste gallons of water to take a shower when all you did was sit and watch
Yeah,
Glee all day? You
yeah,
sat and watched The Vampire Diaries for the 5th time, Stephen. Why are you showering?
yeah.
You didn't leave your couch for 6 hours.
Do you feel the need? See, I think I'm built different. Do you ever jack off and have to take a shower?
I have to at least wash myself
Yeah,
afterwards. Like I have to at least wash my hands, and then like
I have to jump in the
if I get
shower.
some on my tummy, I have to wash my tummy.
Well, yeah, I have to. And maybe it's just like a hairy thing because like,
I'm not very hairy, so I don't
but
know
see,
where that comes
exactly
from for
because
me.
it gets stuck.
I mean, I did not start
And
growing
so
body
like it's
hair
hard to just like
until
scrub
the
it
ripe old age
off.
of 23.
So
I
I'm
went through a
dead.
second puberty last year. I didn't have facial hair until last year. I still don't have normal armpit hair.
Oh,
In 6th grade, the guys were all going through puberty. I was not. And they were like, yeah, if you shave your armpits, it'll grow back faster. So I listened to them with my 3 little hairs that were in my armpits, shaved them off, and I still don't have armpit hair. It's like maybe 5 or 6 strands of hair.
I'm dead. Okay, so
We got really sidetracked.
yeah, I don't even remember what we're talking like change. And
Bodyism. But
and
like,
yeah. So
I
let's
also would
talk
really like
let's
to
talk
talk about that
about
video in
so let's
general
talk about
about
that. Oh, okay.
the
What?
video. Wait, what did you want to talk
Yeah,
about?
let's talk
The video?
like just to
Okay.
keep it on track. So just for anyone that wants to know, like let me explain something really fast to anybody that's listening.
And then after I'll finish the story about the video because I just remembered I did not finish the story about the video.
So I just want
I
to
might have
explain to people
ADHD.
like the original intent of this podcast was to have these conversations, but also to have other conversations that I've been having about communication and things like
Sure,
that.
have
And like,
fun.
it's just, yeah, it's for me to have fun, but also to like quote unquote change the world in my own way and like like not force these conversations, but have these conversations to improve the world. And I've been wanting to have these conversations. I also want to make it like very abundantly clear that Shawn is not the only person, first of all, that I've talked about these like some of these issues with, and he will not be the last in terms of diversity. And like I said, whenever I say diversity, I mean like every kind, like body, class, politics, whatever. And I won't, there are some things that like when I say like the thing about like I can't comprehend being in a racist shoes, like that kind of thing, like I'm only going to talk about it to a certain extent because both of us here are white, and there are other people I'd obviously much rather have these those like that specific kind of topic with somebody that's a person of color, because obviously and so like I want
Because
to,
we are both
that's very
palm
true,
colored people.
very palm colored people.
I hope I used that term correctly. I saw somebody use it on TikTok and I was like, that's funny.
I thought it was funny, but I didn't know if we could use it or not.
Well, I don't know if we can either, to be honest, but I thought it was funny.
I don't know the rules.
That's why I was just like,
yeah. But so okay, yes, finish the story about the video, and then let's talk about, I want to talk
right.
about, I love this term, bodyism.
Okay, so
body yada yada.
Usually when I see people talk about body positivity, it is people who are not affected by bodyism to the same degree that, because I understand that people who have 6-pack abs can experience body dysmorphia. Like, yeah, they probably go to the gym 8 days a week because they think that they're fatter than they are. I get it. However, when I see a conventionally attractive person talking about fat people, a conventionally or a skinny, fit, attractive person talking about fat people and their problems, stop. I don't want you to talk about my problems. I can talk about my problems. You can, if I've talked about my problems and then you have a bigger platform than me and say, hey, this creator talked about this problem, go watch this video. That's great. That you're helping me. That's fine. But don't talk about my problems for me. So the video I ran across, because usually when I run across these videos, it's all the same thing. It's the conventionally attractive people banging 50K, 100,000, thousands of comments like, oh my God, you're right. You're so right. Let's change. And then the one or two videos I'll see of actual fat people saying, hey, there's a problem, let's address it. It's shut the fuck up. No, there's not. Oh, why don't you just accept that people aren't attracted to you? Like, I get people aren't attracted to me. I mean, I still think I don't say I'm ugly. I say I'm not my own type. I don't say, you know, I hate myself because I'm fat. I say I hate that I am fat sometimes, but not because I hate my fat, it's because I don't like the way my fat hangs here or the way it causes my skin to look this way here. So those are things I'm trying to change. Like, I use like stretch mark lotion to get rid of my stretch marks. I take collagen to even out the dimply parts of my body. I go to the gym to tighten and tone. Like, these are things I'm trying to change. Da, 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 da. But usually when I see these videos talking about the problems that they're experiencing, fat people, it's full of hatred and the comments are just full of hate and stupidity and ignorance. And I've actually been pretty fortunate. I haven't seen so much hate attacking me in my video that I've made. However, I stopped looking at the comments after I woke up to 783 notifications one night. I am not made to be famous, because if that's a regular thing that's going to happen for me, I don't want it.
It happened to me.
I liked
It's
my
happened
little
to me a few
I
times.
appreciated my 15 minutes. It started a conversation.
Yeah.
It got me some followers so that I can address a bigger population of people to explain, hey, this is a problem. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not going to be David Dobrik. I'm not moving out to LA and buying a
Not
Tesla and
that
talk.
name. Don't use that name on my podcast.
Well, hold on, because there's not really any good influencers anymore. That I could. Well, Liza Koshy's pretty unproblematic.
I was just thinking, I was like, I had like a good like prime example of one of just of like
Jenna Marbles, but the thing about Jenna Marbles is
that's what I said, but
understood,
she was bullied off of YouTube.
but she also took accountability for herself and she chose to leave on her own.
Yes.
She didn't get bullied off.
Okay, yes.
But anyway, so anyway, like, I'm not going to be an influencer. I don't think I can handle that attention. My 15 minutes was fine. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted. But anyway, so the video, and a lot of people just didn't understand the video. Like, I'm still getting comments like, well, people can be attracted to what they're attracted to. Yes. For example, I'm not attracted to short guys. Guys under 5'7" don't do it for me. There's no physical attraction there. But here's the thing. I'm not going to tell that person who's 5'6" who slides into my DMs, fuck off, go kill yourself. I'm going to say, hey, sorry, just not my type, dude.
But like, then
because I was raised with manners and respect.
So then let's talk about that first, is like preferences and shit.
Well, preference and a requirement are two different things.
That's what I was about to get into. First of all, like, baseline, like that's that. Your fucking preference for white people, your preference
is racist.
Yes. Those preferences.
Don't expect me to baby this, because when they go low, I'm going to hell. I am not taking the high road.
Are requirements. That's a requirement. Somebody who has facial hair versus somebody that does not, that is a preference. Somebody, not that you're seeing it immediately, somebody that has a big dick versus somebody that doesn't, that's a preference. Somebody,
unless you're just shallow as shit and it's a requirement, then you do you, boo.
Yeah. I mean,
but just know you're not going to be very happy in life.
Somebody that has short hair versus hair to their shoulders, that's a preference. Somebody that has money versus not, that's a preference. Color, body size, like, these things are requirements. You require someone to look good and be fit.
Right.
Like, you require someone to be white. And by the way, let me address as well, those two things are not on the same level. They are both incredibly, well, they shouldn't be, I guess. They are both incredible issues that we need to be talking about. But just to make it clear, body size and racism are not on the
Not the
same
same.
level.
That's why, so
But we're
people in
not
the
going to
video,
negate either one of them because they are still both apparent. They are still very apparent issues that we need to both fix. They both
yeah,
need
so
fixing.
that's really quick. That is something I would like to address as well, is on my video, people are commenting, it's the same thing with racism. When Black people say it, we're told to shut up, but when white people say it, they're applauded. I understand that that may be true. That is true. It's not maybe true. It is true. I am very tentative to agree with that because as a white person, I understand I benefited from the white privilege for that video. And like before I am a fat guy, I am a white guy. So like, that's why I'm really tentative to say, yeah, you're right. Whenever people are like, oh, this is the same thing in racism. Like white people say, hey, Black people deserve human rights and they're awarded. And Black people say it and they're told to shut up and get over it. That is, yes, that's correct. I'm just, as a white person, I don't feel comfortable saying that they are the same issue because they are not the same issue.
Yeah.
They are a similar issue, but they are not the same issue.
Yes.
They are both issues that need to be addressed and corrected, but they are not the same issue. I hate that people are saying that the same issue.
Yeah.
Because yes, you may be right. There are similar issues. I can't, because like I said, I understand because I'm not the first person that said this. And I have seen plus size, fat people of color say the same thing I have.
Yes.
And they don't get any recognition.
Correct.
But I have 40,000 views, I think, on that video.
I think it's
I don't
30,
know.
but whatever.
I don't know. I stopped looking at it.
I just was on your TikTok. I think the number was, but
I can't look at it anymore because it's giving me anxiety. And it just, I'm like, yeah, I understand. I'm white, so of course the algorithm is going to put me on your For You page.
Yes.
I get it. Like I'm not.
Yes.
I don't have this. I don't have this fallacy in my head that I'm the only person that's ever said this.
Yeah.
And it just, something I've learned and I'm continuing to learn more of is that being an ally is not speaking for someone or even speaking with them. It is speaking to them. Like having a conversation with them, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And being like, hey, you're saying that these are things that need to be fixed. Let's talk about it. And then I will do my best to help you with that. Not saying you said this needs to be done and then me be relaying that message to everybody else. Yeah. Not speaking for you, not speaking over you, speaking to you, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But back to the bodyism thing, is that, so the video blows up pretty much overnight also. Like I think I woke up the next morning and it had over 10,000 views. I was like, oh, this is a lot.
Yes.
The comments were all filled with some pretty positive things towards me.
Okay.
However, I also prefaced the video, correct me if I'm wrong, I did preface the video by saying this is not to be hateful or disrespectful to the original creator, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what, of course, did TikTok do?
I mean, they went and berated the original creator.
And like, I've seen a few of his videos and he seems to be a not total shit person.
No,
I don't agree with everything he's talked about.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with everything my roommate talks about. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just.
You are allowed, here's the other thing. You're allowed to, I just got so passionate because this thought comes to my mind sometimes and I get pissed as fuck. You are allowed, and I was just talking to Shawn about this before. Everyone feels like they have to be on this right-hand side or this left-hand side. I'm not talking just politics, but like just this one side or the other. And like nobody feeds into this gray space. You are allowed to agree to disagree on a specific topic that somebody talks about, as long as it's not like morally wrong.
Right, like
and still
I'm just
be
gonna
friends
say
with them.
I'm not
as
gonna
long
be friends
as
with
they're
somebody
not
who's a
like
Trump
I hate
supporter.
gay people. Like as long as it's like not that shit. Like listen, I can be I'm about to say some shit that people would be surprised. Well, maybe surprised. I can be friends with a Republican.
You're better than me. I couldn't.
Depending on the spectrum, but like.
I can be civil and friendly to a Republican.
Okay, maybe
I cannot be friends with a Republican.
I think I just dug myself into a hole there because I really was trying to figure out where I was going with that. No, okay.
I will be respectful, civil, and kind to you, but I will not be your friend.
Let me reverse. I can be friends I can be friends with, that's a moral issue. Fuck. God damn it. Wow, maybe I can't be friends with anybody. Jesus Christ. But I think you see what I mean. Like, just because you agree to disagree on a small topic, like, oh, here we go. I don't like Trisha. This is going to be so weirdly specific.
I can't stand her either.
I don't like Trisha Paytas. If you like Trisha Paytas, we aren't going to talk about it. You have other friends that want to talk about it. I can still be friends with you. We just want to talk about it. I don't like her. She's problematic as fuck.
I don't care for Chris Pratt. I don't like the actor. I think he plays the same character in every fucking movie he's in.
Yeah.
I don't care for his acting skills. However, I have a friend who thinks he's the hottest thing since sliced bread. We just don't agree on that. I'm still friends with her.
And that's fucking okay. But people immediately think just because, like, hey, like, I like putting pineapple on my pizza. Oh, we can't be fucking friends. Like, you're being dramatic.
Well, hold on now, because that should be considered a terrorist action.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I'm fucking dead. But like that shit, like, you could say, what were we talking about? Why was that relevant? Something about bodyism. Oh, the guy. We can agree. Like, we can agree that, like, okay, for example, I think he's a great guy. I think him posting about it was intentionally good.
His intentions was there.
And that's like, here's the other thing is, by the way,
and if he was a former fat, different story, but I don't think he's a former fat.
Maybe, I don't know. But here's the thing. So here's my other thing is the two things about social media. When somebody posts anything, there are two things. One, you post, somebody is allowed to criticize you. That is.
Hold on. Let's define criticism real quick. Criticism is saying
constructive criticism. Do not fucking come into my comments and hate.
Criticism is, hey, I just didn't care for this because I didn't like your use of the color blue in the art. Or
just shut up, like, and don't say anything.
But when you say, hey, I didn't like this because you're a shitty person, that is not criticism.
No.
That is just you being an asshole.
Correct. And here is the second thing. You will most likely, on the videos that you are watching or the pictures you are seeing on any platform, you will never know the intention that person had posting. So you may
unless they somehow found a way to be completely transparent about it.
You may construe it as bad, but that person was trying to do something good. And you are just hating on the person and negating the fact that their original intention was to post something good. The other thing is, I guess there's a third thing, sort of, but it kind of goes with, you'll never know their intentions. You'll never know where they kind of go together, this one. You'll never know what that other person is going through. And so hating on someone is never okay. Doing that shit where it's like, you're a shitty person, that's not okay. It also goes to my next point in the fact that we are, again, I've talked about this before. I don't think the society is getting more sensitive. I think we're getting into more a place where we know what's right and wrong. But that goes with the fact that you are still allowed to learn. There is still character development. And if you are shitting on this person and not allowing themselves to educate and grow, or maybe you're even teaching them or something, whatever, then they're not going to grow. They're not going to be a better person. And we still have to be stuck in the world with that person. Like, you have to let people grow. You have to allow people to grow. Now, in that scenario, if that person does something you don't like, you educate them. That is your end, most likely.
However, I do think that there is a certain point where you can't come back from it.
No, that's what I'm saying. When
for example, Shane Dawson, there's no way he's coming back.
No, but like when you
I don't think he could
repeatedly
ever
show your
redeem himself in my
actions,
eyes.
like obviously, like, and when somebody shows their actions the first time, you should notice. But if they do allow themselves to get better and they grow and whatever, that's great. And you don't need to be friends with that person in that process. But like, if they do that, that's incredible. But like you said, if they continuously do bad things, and then like, there's also opportunities where people have educated them or whatever, and they still do bad things or say bad things or actions, words, whatever, then that obviously is a bad person. They're not willing to change, et cetera, et cetera. Leave them alone. Walk away. It's not, you still don't need.
It's also acceptable to do this with your family. Like,
oh my God.
Shitty family, please take care of yourself first. I am also a strong believer that the only time it is okay to be hateful or disrespectful to somebody is if they do it to you first. If they go low, go to hell. No, because I'm done with who said take the high road? Why are we taking the high road?
Kesha.
Why am I saying, I hope you have a good day, do better, after you've told me I'm a fat fuck, should kill myself, and that's why my mom is dead?
Well, see,
Why am I being
but
respectful?
you
at
said
this
go
point? You
lower.
didn't be respectful. I will go lower. I'll make fun of your dead dad.
But you also said before, and I like it better, that your am I allowed? Your therapist said.
No, go ahead.
Wait, can you say the thorn thing? Because I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay, so when there's a thorn in your side, you remove it because it's causing you pain and annoyance. And this is also something I've seen on TikTok as well. Like somebody said something to the same degree, but my therapist said it in this form, is that when you are, she used a lot of different analogies. So one of them was the thorn one, and another one was when you're walking around and one of your shoelaces isn't tight and your shoe is about to fall off, you stop, you tie it, and you move on, right? You correct what is causing you discomfort.
Okay.
So when you're in life, and let's say you have an aunt who is really problematic, she doesn't agree with you being queer, she thinks that you're going to burn in hell, it is okay to cut her off because she's causing you discomfort.
Yeah.
She's a thorn in your side, remove the thorn.
Yep. I ran away from my entire family. I haven't spoken to my family in a single year.
That's sad.
It's sad, but see, and I get that a lot. It's sad, but hey, I'm doing the thing.
I also meant like that's not sad for you. I just mean that's a sad thing in general that people have to
go through. Yes, agree.
Yes.
1,000%. Nobody should have to, but this is what we're in.
I don't really talk to a lot of my family. I was really fortunate to never have family that was like, you're gonna burn in hell because you're gay. Like my grandma was a little concerned about it, but that's because she lost her brother to AIDS. So a lot of hers was fear, like genuine fear, like I lost my brother to this, now I'm gonna lose my grandson to this. And I think she's kind of gotten over it, but like my grandma was also really racist. Like, oh my God.
You will never catch me excusing that behavior. Ever. I don't care.
That's why I hate whenever someone dies and we're like, I just know they're up there right now looking. No, Grandpa uses the N-word on the reg.
They're the ones in fucking hell because they hate people.
Grandpa uses the N-word on the reg. He's looking up right now thinking, please save me. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really talk to a lot of, I talk to my brother and my cousin, and that's pretty much it. Like, I don't talk to my parents a lot because like there's a lot of toxicity there. My dad's kind of racist. My dad's the kind of racist though where he's just ignorant about things. Racist. Well, I also think it's on a spectrum where you're racist because you're racist, and then you're racist because you're just fucking ignorant and you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, but I still call it.
And you've been taught this one thing. I'm not excusing it. I'm just trying to educate.
I totally understand. Sorry. I'm validating you, man. That's my bad.
For example, I was racist. I'm still racist. I'm still microaggressive. I'm doing better and trying to learn. My father does the same things, says the same things that I used to say, and I used to agree with my father on these things. However, the only difference is I'm doing the change, I'm doing the work, or trying to. He is not. Yeah. Whereas he would never, like my dad would never like let a Black person go with, like he wouldn't, if he saw a Black person like on the side of the road, he would stop and pull over and help them out. He would never be like, oh, fuck that N-word and drive away. But like, he definitely thinks that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. Like, we don't talk about it, but I'm sure if I asked him, that's what he would say. Yeah. That, or he would just say, what the fuck is that? Because he's not a very educated man.
Yeah.
My dad's not stupid. Like, if I turned on my car and it made a weird noise, he'd be like, yep, this is a problem. Done. Fixed. Like, if he walked into my house and saw my shelf a little lopsided, it's fixed. But if I ask him what the square root of 2 is, he's definitely going to be like, give me like an hour and a calculator. My dad's not book smart. Yeah, he is not book smart.
I don't even want to talk about my parents, but I would even like the silence is violence thing. Like at this point, like if you're quiet about it too, like, and I know some people are like, you can't just throw that word around, but like, here we fucking are. It's the 21st century. We're about to have our hopefully reawakening because this shit's fucking annoying.
You also do have to, this whole silence is violence thing is correct. And I agree with that. However, at the same time, when you are financially dependent on someone, and if you say something could end you up on the streets,
Oh my God, no,
pick your
I didn't
battles.
mean like,
Pick your
oh, don't,
battles.
that's a whole other conversation. Like,
And then
don't,
also to
I'm
go,
a
not
big
just,
believer. I am a big believer in like, no matter what I talk about on this podcast, no matter what I say, no matter if it's an opinion or a fact, whatever, you still come first. Make
oh,
sure
for sure.
if you, and like for me, like after today, there's no way. I have to take a social media break. I have to take a social media break. And so like that for me, I need to take care of my own mental health. Take care of your own mental health before. You can't fight a war without being a warrior.
Like, you
and,
also can't beat a dead horse.
and you
Like,
can't,
let's just
yeah, but
admit
you
it.
can't
Let's just be
always a
honest. Like,
1000% be a warrior.
you
You
can
need your
try your
rest.
best to teach grandma to
Yep.
stop saying the N-word, but if she's just going to keep saying it, stop wasting your breath. She's not going to change.
Yep. And then walk away. Like,
It is
don't
okay to
stand by
admit
her.
it's okay to admit that there's a lost cause there.
Yep.
Like, the game is
Yep.
not over. You didn't
Yep.
lose the game.
And no
You just
offense,
stopped playing.
no offense to Mima, but she'll probably end up in the grave in 10 to 12 years. Anyways.
Probably sooner. She's not. She's got diabetes.
So like I always
Love you, Gran.
Republicans will die sooner than Democrats.
But see, that's something I'm really afraid of too, is that people are like, oh, we're just gonna let all these racist people die and it'll be fine. But that's the problem, because they're teaching and leaving behind ideologies.
They
like,
are.
slave
Yes.
owners died, and we're still dealing with that because they taught their kids.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have to teach the kids, don't listen to racist Mima.
Which means like teaching, which means like we need to get like infiltrate schools. We need to, et cetera, et cetera.
Why are you, a white man, teaching me about Black people?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm saying like to schools, we should ask them.
Oh, I thought you meant like, I was like, oh my God, am I doing something like I shouldn't?
No, you're not. I didn't mean to infer that you were.
I'm like, that's the thing is like, I don't think people realize like,
why is a white man teaching me about women?
Bitch. And like that, like, I shouldn't say sensitive bitch. It's not, you're not a bitch if you're sensitive. But I just like.
You are. There's nothing wrong with it. You are. It's not
but
a bad thing.
Like I can be sensitive, but like I am walking on eggshells. I'm not afraid to say it, but I also combat this shit. But I'm scared I'm gonna say something wrong. But I say it, and if I'm wrong, I take a video down, I apologize, we move on, I try again. Like, this is also like, we are in a reawakening, and it hasn't happened in like 250 years, 250 years, excuse me. And like, we don't know this shit. We were dead. Like well, I guess we were not alive. I don't know. So like, we have to
we were unalive at that time.
Yeah. We have to, that's
pre-alive.
I think about the time before instead of the time that comes after. And I'm like, what? So like, anyways, but
that doesn't make sense to me. If energy can't be created or destroyed, where the fuck did we come from? Where were we before we were this? That's a whole nother conversation. Philosophy. Yes.
But so I get nervous, and I don't know if people know that or not. And not that I always, and like, right, even now, I'm so scared of like saying the wrong fucking thing. I'm scared of people taking my words and screwing them. And like, but like, and that's because like, I'm also right now, as of today, I'm in a really like, again, I've been in good spots. I'm typically in a good spot, but like right today, my anxiety is getting to me. People are getting to me, whatever. My walls are fucking up and down, depending on which wall we're talking about. But like, I'm insecure. That wall, like, right now in this moment, I am so insecure about what I'm saying, about my body, about all of this shit. And so like, I'm nervous to say the wrong thing. But in a typical like good area, if I'm going to say something, I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to say it proud. I will post it. I won't take it down. I don't give a shit about trolls, like, because I know my intention behind what I am saying. But like,
right. So
yeah,
to try to kind of help you out there for a second, something I've learned, something that was taught to me was that, when you speak about something and you misspeak about it, and then you recognize it and you take accountability for it, you shouldn't remove that. You, like, for example, when a newspaper prints an article, I know they technically print retractions, but a lot of the times they'll put editor's notes instead of retractions to amend a statement. Or when they do print the retraction, they don't unprint those newspaper articles. They print a new article stating, this is why it was wrong that I said that. I would like to correct it. Please disregard this piece of art, this piece of content that already exists. So something that I learned was that if you misspeak, do not erase that because it holds you accountable. Therefore, leave
Why
it
are
there.
you literally me? And
Leave it
I'm
there to
mad
let
that
it
I deleted
remind
the
you
videos that I
where
deleted
you've
today.
been. Right. So let it stay
Because
there as a way to remind you you don't want to do that again.
I'm mad because I'm doing, because obviously in this state, people make rash decisions. I'm making rash decisions. And I was like, I don't want this hate. I can't deal with that. I'm deleting the video. And because that video was going to blow up. Like I literally saw the numbers just racing up. I was like, this can't be it. I was like, I can't.
This can't be the reason I get to 1 million.
I was like, I can't do it right now. But like, it just like, I was fucked. But I just like,
I'm also really worried
I
I'm going to
say
end up
that
on the
shit
wrong
all
side
the
of
time. I
TikTok.
tell people, don't delete the negative comment that you said towards someone. Keep like, people are like, why aren't you delete? And that's why I used to not block. That's the other side
Delete
of me.
harassment. Delete
I don't
harassment.
block
Do not
it
delete negativity.
because I don't block it because I'm like, these people need to come back to see their comments on this post, where they can come back and they can be like, oh, I was a shitty person to this person. I should not do that.
There's a difference between removing harassment and removing negativity. If somebody just says you're a stupid bitch, let them say it.
Yeah.
However, if somebody is like in every single one of your videos saying you're a stupid whore, I hope you die, you should get raped, blah, 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 then you should block them because that's harassment. That's not just negativity. That's harassment. That's not them saying, I hate you, you're ugly. That's them saying, I'm going to inflict violence upon you. And that should not be allowed.
Yeah.
Like, are they serious right now? Like, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Go right. You want to say fuck black people, say fuck black people, say it with your whole chest. Just be ready for somebody to knock you out.
Yep.
Be ready to get blocked from Twitter, suspended, and removed from social media because a private company said, we as a private company don't agree with what you said, and your consequence for this is that, or for that is this. Don't be mad when freedom of speech also means freedom of speech from somebody else.
Yeah.
If you call me a fat cow, don't be upset if I call you a dumb bitch.
Uh-huh.
If you tell me to unalive myself, don't be mad if I say, well, at least my mom's not dead.
I was just sorry. I was on TikTok and somebody commented, because I haven't gotten a comment on this video really, of the video that I stitched from you or duetted or whatever.
Oh, by the way, to finish this out, that's how we met. He duetted or stitched my video, or you green screen videoed my video because you can't stitch 3-minute videos yet.
Yes.
On TikTok. Yeah. And I got a few people who did that. However, I think you're the only one that had a podcast and you were the only one that wanted to reach out and talk further about it. Because the other ones were just small accounts like mine.
Yeah. But someone said, well, the sides aren't equal. The other side is reaction. The pretty boys push others away. They're
not completely wrong either.
It's not what divides. Here's my thing. Here's my dilemma. Here's an issue in the queer community that we need to figure the fuck out, because we're stuck in these circles that need to end.
We put ourselves in these circles ourselves, so the fault and accountability needs to fall on ourselves.
I agree, but here's the thing is here's these people on Fire Island, here's these people in Puerto Vallarta. I think this is what the video was about.
PV gays are just problematic gays in general, though. That's a whole nother conversation.
But people are like, there's no diversity, there's whatever. And then here's the other side who's trying to combat it. And they're like, hey, we don't even want to be a part of these groups. How the fuck do you expect these people to be? And I hate to say it. We have to be the ones to educate these people. We have to. And as much as it sucks, because these people on this side who have these white looking groups who all are conventionally attractive should be the ones educating themselves and turning on their brains about common sense. They aren't doing it. So no offense to these people over here, but you need to push the agenda. You have to get these people to turn their brains on. You have to make sure that they know what they are doing is wrong. And you don't necessarily need to be a part of these groups, but I feel like nothing is going to change until you put yourself in these groups and start saying shit. And like I said, don't act as the token person. I think we talked about this too before camera. Don't be the token person, like get other people to do it with you. But like we need to start, because that's the circle. It's like you have this side there, they keep coming together. It's more white gays who are conventionally attractive. That's it. Then there's this side who's complaining about it or whatever and saying, hey, I don't want to be a part of it. So now that there's just these two separations and these people are complaining and these people don't give a shit. And like, there's no middle ground where we're trying to come together and just break the fucking mold. You have to.
That's something, this whole division thing. And when I hear people on TikTok, specifically people of color, talk about how white gays are the problem, white gays are the devil, I do understand and I agree with them to a certain degree, because here's the thing.
But can I really fast? Oh, go ahead.
Do you like wasps?
No, who fucking likes wasps?
So are you afraid of wasps?
Yeah, I hate them.
Do you kind of shy away from wasps?
Yes,
you see one
of
in
course.
the corner over there, right? So because you see one wasp that's minding its own business, you kind of shy away from it, right? Have you ever been stung by a wasp?
No.
Okay, well, I've only ever been stung by one wasp in my life. I understand that not every wasp in the world is out to get me.
Yeah.
However, enough wasps have stung me.
Yes.
To tell me I don't want to fuck with wasps anymore. That shit fucking hurt.
Yeah.
So when I say I fucking hate wasps, I don't mean all wasps. Obviously, wasps are out there. I'm hearing myself back when I'm saying wasps, and it sounds so weird. Anyway, like I understand that wasp nest over there isn't trying to come after me.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do their business.
Yeah.
But I still say I hate all wasps.
Yes.
And because I generalize, and I've been hurt enough by wasps enough times that I'm like,
yeah,
I don't want to fucking associate with wasps.
Yeah.
So if somebody is over and over again victimized or
people are gonna think people are gonna think I mean as well is like, hey, I have trauma from these people. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I get that too. I understand. Like
with daddy issues, for example. Some people get daddy issues that makes them attracted to older male authority figures. Mine gives me a deep, deep, deep mistrust for any older male in an authority position.
Yes.
I don't trust you if you're over the age of 40 and hold a position of power. I don't, and I never will.
Yeah. Yeah. But so, yeah.
Doesn't mean I hate you, it just means I don't trust you.
Right. Right.
So like, I completely understand when people say white gays are the devil, because they're not wrong. We really are. And we
I don't disagree.
A bastardized system.
But see, I don't disagree. But I can't sit here and tell you that the way that they the way that people phrase it is okay. There's a way to say things. And saying white people are the devil is trapping us still in a circle. It provides no further conversation. It provides no, here's the problem. It provides no, here's the solution. Like, I want to start hearing conversations where it's like, hey, I don't like white people. This is why I don't like white people. This is how white people can do better. But I also want to say that would be a conversation from a person of color, and people of color don't need to be educated.
Well, I can have that conversation too, because I don't like most white people I see and I know.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand, like, when I see white people acting stupid on social media, like, I see people of color call it white peopling. When I see white peopling, like, I just saw a video the other day where these all white people were tubing in what looked to be a ditch, not even a river, a ditch. And they found a secret tunnel that was like I think they're called culverts. Like, the actual term is a culvert. Is like,
and they got like sucked into it.
They were like, oh, we found a secret tunnel while tubing on a river, and they go into the fucking tube. That is white peopling, and I will not I
Yeah.
will not, like all these videos you see of like white people finding these hidden rooms in their homes or hidden basements. That's how the fucking horror movie starts. Why the fuck are you white peopling right now?
Yeah.
I get it when black people are like, oh, that's white people shit, because they're right.
No, I agree. No, that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about like with this, then like, and like I already stated, it is not a person of color's job to educate a white person. That's not what I'm talking about. Inner community, I am talking about like that education where it's like, you know, whatever. And like that can include people who are white and bigger, not just like people of color or whatever. It is not a person of color's job to educate a white person. I'm not saying that. I am saying all I want is just this divide where it's just nasty, unpositive, negative shit about it. Because watching that as a white person, like, it doesn't offend me, but it gets me nowhere. It doesn't tell me like, hey, I should be a better person. It just tells me I'm the devil. You're making a joke out of it. Let me be more of a white devil. Like that's
well, see, if it doesn't offend you, then just don't pay attention to it. Like when I see people talk about white gays with the devil, it doesn't piss me off or anything, because I'm like,
no, it doesn't piss me off either.
it's like when you're in high school and the teacher's like, so I was absent yesterday and a few of you decided to do this thing
But now
with
all
the
of you are
substitute. I know it's not me that she's talking to.
Yeah.
She's talking to Casey and Chad.
Yeah.
So, but because Casey and Chad fucked it up for the whole class,
Yeah.
we all now have to suffer.
Yes.
It's the same thing. Whereas, for example, I'm not going to talk about racism because it's not my place.
I was gonna say we're
I will
getting
talk about bodyism.
Yeah.
It is not my job as a fat person to educate you on bodyism.
Yeah.
I will tell you, hey, you're being a bodyist, but beyond that, I will not tell you anything else. If you ask me to have a conversation with you, that's another story. I'll have a conversation with you. And if education comes, then education comes. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to be Mrs. Smith and have a PowerPoint presentation and let you take notes for the quiz this Friday.
Yeah.
It's not my job. Get on Duolingo and teach your fucking self.
Yeah.
Get some Rosetta Stone, teach your fucking self.
Mm-hmm.
Get some Lumosity. Okay? I mean, if you want to pay me to teach you, my Venmo is. But no, like I'm not going to sit here and educate you on how you can be less of a bodyist and how you can have less bias and less prejudice towards people who are fat, because that's just simply not my job. Simply is not. I'm also not going to do the same thing to straight people for queer people. I'm not going to educate you on who Marsha P. Johnson was. I had to do that for myself.
Yeah. Which I agree.
I'm going to tell you who Sylvia Rivera is.
I just think I'm a different person who I don't give a shit. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you. If I think you're doing something wrong, I'm going to tell you.
And there's no problem with that. I'm just not going to do it.
No, I
think
understand
at that point it
that,
becomes
but
the
it's just like I don't think there's enough of it where it's like we're going to change a mindset. Like these people individually are not going to go do that. And so I feel like, and if they're not going to go do it, then that's the learned behavior that's stuck in them. And then because I don't want to be stuck with all of these fucking stupid ass, dumbass assholes out in this world who are younger. Like I want to do it because I don't want to be stuck with them.
Younger as if you're like 40. You're what, 22?
Idiots. No, I'm saying because the learned behavior comes from.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you were older than everyone.
No.
To help the younger people.
No, but yeah, like, but I
like
just
22.
Don't. Yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
I just turned 21 last week.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I thought you were like 21, 22, something like that. So, yeah.
No. Yeah, you're good. So it just, sorry, I know we're getting off a tangent and I've said some things that I probably already regret, but because like my brain's just not all there. But basically, like, it's just stupid. It sucks. And it's like, we're just trapped in these circles. We're trapped in these loops. And like, nobody seems to want to help. Nobody wants to seem to accept change. And it's crazy. Oh, here's the like one other thing that I really wanted to like talk about. Well, actually, there's two things that I kind of want to that I want to discuss. First of all, it is crazy to me that people who are athletic, people who do have six-pack, and like again, I'm really just talking about the queer community here, also have body dysmorphia. It's not wild to me. Like I get it, like what you said, like they spend this much time in the gym because they feel like they're fatter than they are.
Or it's not just that, like, I don't mean it to generalize it and make it sound like everybody who works out
No,
5
no,
days,
no, 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 no,
8
no,
days a
no.
week
Yeah.
is body dysmorphic. It could also just be because they want to have that body because it'll
And
make
I
them
do
think that
that.
they're
Like I
attractive.
do it because it's
That's
better.
fine.
It betters my mental health, et cetera, et cetera. But so
Right.
right. And so like, but like for the people who do it, like who do a body dysmorphia and have abs, whatever, everyone feels very stoic and silent about it. And like that it's just weird to me that like people who are bigger and people who are thinner and both have body dysmorphia, we're not talking about each other's body dysmorphias. And I feel like that conversation is a really good starting conversation and really could kickstart what the fuck is going on in the community, at least in terms of bodyism, and like how we can integrate. I don't know if that's the appropriate word, but integrate in with each other and talking about that shit. My second thing that I wanted to say before we go is the fact that I just saw 2 TikToks this past week. One, I think it was Elle magazine. I could be wrong, but it was this runway of like Elle runway models, and they each and every one of them were diverse, whether they were bigger and white and like I said, curvier, or they were skinny and like black or Latinx or Hispanic. Each one was either, some in some way diverse. And then I saw another TikTok, and I don't know what the company was, but racially diverse and like color diverse, they were okay. But body diverse, they were not. Oh, by the way, like the first set, like I said, were all females. And then the second set were all males. And they were all athletic. They were all in swimsuits, but they were all ripped. But they were all, and I was like confused. And then I heard a podcast that was crazy that kind of blew my mind that like when we talk about most of the time when you hear body positivity, it is for women, it is by women.
It's also been co-opted by conventionally attractive bodies.
This is true. This is true. But like when you mostly hear body positivity, it's a lot of women speaking, it's a lot, which is great. But then if that is true,
Men
then
need to have
men
these
have
talks
to
too.
start their own body positivity movement.
Men do need to have these own, because I have I have boobs, okay? I got some A cups here.
Yeah.
And like it just, when I was younger and didn't really have a large understanding, I was a feminine person. So I was like, does this make me a woman because I have boobs and I'm feminine? Because my parents just weren't educated on things, so they didn't have the tools to teach me you can be feminine and still be a man.
Yeah.
They didn't have like those resources because they were very, I don't need to worry about that. I need to worry about whether or not my kid's gonna be able to eat tonight.
Yes.
So that just comes from that kind of place. But I this is kind of going to go off on a tangent, but also kind of be a little bit relatable to what we were just talking about. I never saw men talking about their bodies in a way that wasn't a joke. Like Chris Farley was a huge comedian. And when I say huge comedian, I mean like he was a big comedian, not like a fat comedian, but he was also fat. And he was used for physical comedy, and his size was always the butt of the joke. Every time a fat guy gets put on stage, he is the butt of the joke. Women are too, but we talk about it when it's about women. We don't talk about it when it's about men. And this is not to take away from women. I think that these conversations need to be had about women, and we do need to make the world, or we do need to educate people better on the way we treat women subversively and everything. But we also need to talk about the way we condition men to do this to women.
Yep.
And we need to talk about the way we condition men to view their bodies as commodity.
Yep.
So like something I learned about my body dysmorphia a long time ago wasn't that I hated my body. It's I hated the way other people perceived my body. I hated that other people saw my body and saw a fat tub of lard and an ugly, undesirable piece of shit. That's what I hated. I never hated that I had lumps. I never hated that I had boobs. I never hated that I had stretch marks. I hated that other people saw me as less desirable because of those things.
Yeah.
Do I particularly love my stretch marks? No. but that's just because like my stretch marks are weird colored. Like most people's are like skin colored or like look like bruises. Mine are like green and red sometimes. I'm like, I need to go to a doctor.
Mhm.
Like this arm, these stretch marks, you can't really tell on the camera, but they are a different color than these ones.
Yeah.
And like it also almost looks like I have some kind of scab or skin infection on those ones. And
Mhm.
it's not dry skin because I use lotion every day. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that about it. So like like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I try to do things to change things. And we need to have these conversations about body dysmorphia amongst men, especially amongst men who go to who we think are fine because they have six-pack abs.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he goes to the gym 8 days a week. He's fine. We don't need to help him.
Yeah.
Did you ask him why? Because sure, if he just goes because he likes that the way his body looks, that's fine. Leave him alone. But if he goes and you see him like killing himself at the gym because, God, that Panda Express is coming back. If you see him at the gym killing himself because he thinks he weighs 400 pounds, maybe you should listen to him and ask if he needs help.
Mhm.
If he's willing to get it, because of course you can lead that horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, you can give somebody all the tools and resources they need. It doesn't mean that they're going to take them.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot to sit down, and especially for men, because we are so conditioned. Let me rephrase, for cisgendered men, because we are so conditioned to believe that if we ask for help, that we are weak, we are feminine, we are women. And God forbid you be viewed as equal to a woman. Like, God fucking forbid, right? Like, and everybody seems to think that all of these issues exist singularly, and they don't always. There's a lot of intersections. For example, there's a lot of intersections between masculinity, femininity, and sexism.
Yeah.
They're basically the same thing. Like the issues of division in sports derives from sexism, because like, for example, there's this whole weightlifting thing going on right now. That's a pretty current event. Is that they don't want trans women and trans men competing in the subcategories for male and female weightlifting competitions. Why?
Yep.
Because here's the thing. We are all born the same. We're all born infants, babies, can't lift a pound, right? Can't lift a pound at all. And then over time, we find interests. For example, those interests become weightlifting for some of us. So what do? Whether you're a man or a woman or an intersex individual or a non-binary individual, you like weightlifting. So what do? You train your body. You lift, first you start lifting 20 pounds, then it's 40, until eventually you can lift up to 600 pounds, or I don't know how much you can fucking deadlift. Weightlifting does not interest me. Sorry, I respect it. Does not interest me. I'm not going to put it on TV. And whether that's a man or a woman, they're still lifting 400 pounds. They're lifting the same thing. So why are we saying that's a difference? Because there's not. I'm never going to be able to play tennis as well as Serena Williams.
That girl is out here doing the thing.
But if I was out there training every single day, and then I went and not competed, challenged her, and then I went and challenged her and competed against her, we could be an equal match if I'd put in the work to do so.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference between us is our biological sex and our gender identities. Nothing else, not our skill. So competitions should be judged on skill, not on gender.
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole thing, like, should we let girls play high school football?
Yeah.
Why not? Can she throw the fucking ball? Can
They're
she
like,
punch it?
she's too fragile.
Can she
They're
run?
like, that bitch is stronger than you. What the fuck?
That bitch is 6'2" and could dunk on your ass. I don't think you're gonna beat her
Like,
in a
can
thumb
women play
wrestling match,
sports? They're too
Evan.
fragile. I'm like, that bitch can push out 1,000 children if she wanted to.
For real. I've seen men more
And
fragile than
you
women.
hurt when you use the bathroom. Like, calm down.
Like, I've met guys who won't brush their teeth because they think it's gay. And you're
they're
worried
like,
about a
I
woman
gag
being
on it.
fragile?
I'm like,
Bitch, calm down. Everybody gags. Even people without gag reflexes will gag if they put their fucking toothbrush that far back in
and
their
then
mouth.
the woman will be down on him and then she'll gag and he'll be like, oh, that's so hot. Like, what the fuck? Take your double standards and shove them up your ass.
Like, no joke, I met a guy, and I don't want to put his name out there because I just don't need that attention from my hometown right now. I just don't want it. But we're going to call him.
Is he famous?
No, but
Oh,
if God forbid somebody from my hometown hear this,
I'm fucking dead.
I will never fucking hear the end of it.
I'm fucking dead.
Shawn is over party will be trending across Twitter. We're going to call him Wildberry because that's the lotion I have next to me. So Wildberry one time in 6th grade told me he didn't brush his teeth because I asked him, why do you use your breath smell so bad? Do you need some gum? And he was like, oh no, I just don't brush my teeth. I said, I'm sorry, what? He goes, yeah, I don't brush my teeth. I said, I'm sorry, what? He goes, yeah, I don't brush my teeth. He said it 3 times to me. 3, 1, 2, 3. I said, why? And he goes, because it's gay. I said, please tell me more. And he goes, yeah, like, because you have to do this to brush your teeth. And I was like, you mean brush your teeth? He was like, yeah, but you have to do it like this. I was like, you don't have to. You could do it like this. Like, you could go up and down or little circles or something.
Or yeah.
Like,
also, who goes straight?
Also,
you have to go sideways. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, like, I mean,
well, I guess same thing.
I'll go like,
whatever.
Hold on, like, I guess like,
yeah.
I mean, kind of, sure. But like, also, you're not like,
no,
like, you're not sitting there
right.
with your fucking toothbrush. I mean,
also, if you're, yeah.
So I was like, so what do you do? He was like, well, I mean, I mouthwash. I was like, that's not enough.
That's nasty.
I was like, I really hope you never get married. He did get married. He has children with her. And from what I understand, when they dated in high school before they got married, she got a fungal infection in her vagina. And I'm almost positive it's because he went down on her with funky breath. Oh my God. Women, if you love yourself, do not let men with dirty fingernails go down on you.
Oh my God, yeah.
If any cisgender woman is listening to this, or any person with vagina is listening to this, do not let anybody with dirty fingernails go down on you. You will get a fungal infection. You will get a fungal infection. Because I care for you as a human being, I'm gonna say this to you right now, whether you are gay, straight, black, white, Republican, or Democrat, I care for you enough to let you know this. Do not let dirty fingernailed people go down on you. Will not end well for your vagina. Your doctor will ask you what the fuck, and you will have to explain to them that you let little Randy Evans go down on you with dirty ass oily fingernails. And that doctor's going to be like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. And then you're going to be like, you know what, that guy Shawn on that podcast was right.
Yeah. Say. Well, I feel like, so before we go, because we've been talking about a lot of crazy ass things.
We really have. We've really had a lot of tangents.
I think to keep back on
Good luck editing this.
I'm not editing it. You think I edit my shit? Oh, I post immediately. What the fuck?
I've never edited anything in my entire life.
Oh my God. What's the solution? I always like to ask because it would be.
I think a good solution to anything is just talk about it, have conversations about it, and don't be afraid of it making you uncomfortable.
Like bodyism in general. How does one combat
correction takes pain. That's what I'll say. So if it makes you uncomfortable, you're probably doing the right thing. Whether that is talking about it or changing your diet, if that makes you happy, or just saying, fuck it, I love my body the way it is, then that's fine. But I think a good way to end bodyism, and by extension, this can be an umbrella for just any ism in the world, talk about it, have conversations about it, do the research, Google it. If you don't trust the sources you Googled it from, then go to somebody who experiences that problem. Be like, hey, I tried to educate myself. I just don't trust the sources I found. Could you please point me in the right direction? Or could you have a conversation with me? There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with admitting you're wrong about something. And there's definitely nothing wrong with being uncomfortable about something. I mean, I'm still not super comfortable talking about race. But it needs to be talked about. I'm still not super comfortable talking about my body, but I mean, with the right time, because it happened at the right time, I was ready and I was open for it because I brought a conversation that I felt needed to be had. I mean, no one's comfortable talking about sexual assault, but we need to talk about it because we need to talk about what consent is. We need to actually talk about what actual assault is. Like, it just, talking about things and having conversations about things really is, I think, the key. Education, open and honest communication. And there's a third thing, I cannot remember, but Mariska Hargitay was talking about this in an interview once, and she said, the best way to bring about change is education, open and honest communication, and they do not remember what the third thing was, but she said a third thing. So go look up that interview, and that's the third thing. Because I can't remember right now. But yeah, I just, correction, like, I really want people to understand, I know we've said it a lot, but correction takes pain. So if you're in pain or if you're uncomfortable, you're probably doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, but however, I will say, if you are putting your hand directly on a hot stove, that's probably not the right thing to be doing.
No.
Take your hand off the stove. But if you're going to the gym, for example, and you're doing squats and barbell lifts and all this shit, and you're sore the next day, that's a good thing because your body is changing.
Yeah.
So take with that what you will.
Amen.
Take with that what you will.
I'm dead. Okay.
I'll be dead.
Sorry, I am very, this is much of me listening thing now because I am still,
I get silent too whenever
I try to if it is not obvious, and the bitch is like hyper focused on what you're saying, and I'm just spewing.
I dissociate really bad when people are talking.
Yeah.
What's like, I'm still hearing and retaining. It looks like I'm not.
Right. Just in case anybody didn't know about it though, if you're ever talking and it's not obvious that they're not paying attention, people look away from the person and can hear everything they're saying and is paying more attention as if they were looking at you anyways. Okay. Is there anything you would like to plug before you go? I know you said you don't want to be famous, but is there anything you'd like to plug?
It's not so much that I don't want to be famous. It's just that I don't want it to happen overnight. I need it to be gradual.
I'm dead.
Because I cannot wake up to another 734 notifications.
Yeah.
Let me give you just a quick little.
When my video hit 1 million, I was like, I literally don't know what I'm doing.
It was 3 a.m. and I heard, and I went, what the fuck is that? And I thought it was my alarm. So I look over and it was like, oh, it's just TikTok. I'll deal with that when I wake up. It was 3:04 a.m. I hear again. I look over, it's 3:06 a.m. It's like, oh my God, okay. Yeah. So then I was like, I have to put you on silent right now. And I hope that doesn't turn my alarms off. So I put my phone on silent. But then I heard my phone vibrated so much, it moved from the place where I put it on my table. And when I actually woke up at like 11 o'clock that day, because I am semi-nocturnal, because after work, I get out of work at like 10 o'clock, I go to the gym, get home. It's like 3 a.m. by the time I get to bed, or 2 a.m. by the time I get to bed, 2:30. I wake up around 11. I woke up at like 11:15, 11:20 that day, and I had 734 messages.
I love that you know
it's from
specifically 734.
It was 734 fucking notifications at 11:20 a.m. I was not mentally prepared for that. I didn't even look at them. I was like, I don't have time for this. I swiped that notification away. I took a shower. And I came back and I opened that app and I said, nope. And I closed it right back. I said, nope. Because I was like,
so healthy though.
It was like, because like, you know, when you first open it and like if you have multiple notifications, it has a little red bar that says like this many comments, this many likes, this many da 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 da. It was like I had 400 new followers. I had thousands of, well, not thousands, I had hundreds of comments, 1,000 likes. I was like, no. Like, I don't know how people do, like, I don't know how people do this. I don't know how people do this. Like, I don't know how Straw Hat Goofy deals with his, I don't know how he deals with, I don't know how any of the creators I follow deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, who's that? Call Me Chris. I don't know how Call Me Chris deals with it.
She's fucking crazy. I don't know how she.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
How
don't
she
know how
fucking,
Selena Spooky Boo does it.
yeah.
Because if I woke up and I saw 734 notifications every day, I would simply turn off
Oh
my
my
phone.
god, you know theirs are fucking saying like fucking millions every fucking day.
Like Selena has like what 3-4 million followers. If I
Yeah.
had, I would AT&T. Here's your phone back. I don't need it. Thank you.
I think that's why the pin option is really nice because you can kind of pin a really nice comment at the top and be like, "This is what I thank you for all the nice comments. This is what I
And then like
do."
I tried to respond to as many as I could early on to try to like, because people were thinking I was trying to attack him, even though I said I wasn't. And I was like, this is not what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Please listen. And then like I made a video to respond to one guy because I was like, I've seen a lot of comments about this. Here's, if you listen to the video, you'll understand. I was not attacking him. I was trying to ask the queer community why it is when fat people talk about this, we are told to shut up and it's crickets. But when attractive people say the same thing, they get awards.
Yeah.
But if anybody does want to follow me, I am very funny on Twitter. My Twitter is, let me look it up really quick. I can never remember the exact Twitter
I'm
handle
gonna
because
put
I've
them all in the
changed it.
description as well.
Okay, so my Twitter is Shawn_W96. Feel free to follow me on there. What the fuck? Monetization. You can monetize. I guess you can monetize your tweets now.
Bitch, as if.
Hell, I'd like to get paid to be tweeted, or I'd like to get paid to tweet.
I hate Twitter.
I love a good Twitter moment. My TikTok is ShawnTV96. Oh, I now have 801 followers. Look at me, bitch.
Come through, bitch.
And I'm still getting attention to this video, might I add, and I am. Oh my god. I am still getting attention, and somebody is actively commenting on the 2 videos I made addressing the bodyism.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, just in the last 2 hours that we've been having this conversation, I've gotten 87 new notifications.
Come through.
On these 2 or 3 TikToks. Wow. I'm not really active on Instagram. I'm not a big picture taker. I just don't photograph. I don't think I photograph very well at all. But I've got some good photos. But so if you want, my TikTok does have my Instagram linked. So if you'd like to go follow me on that. But yeah, just follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active. ShawnTV96 is my TikTok. Shawn_W96 is my Twitter. Feel free.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this chaotic podcast.
I love that we got deep in there today.
Oh my god.
A little Trixie and Katya.
That's the whole point. What'd you say?
I said a little Trixie and Katya moment there. Let's get deep.
Thank you guys for listening. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are.
It's 5:03 where I'm at.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and I will
5:04.
I will see you guys in the next one.